What do you do when you want to play in the garden, get some things done, and the weather just won't cooperate? Come along, you'll find out what we do on the Hippie Chick Homestead. I'm in the greenhouse today, and I had planned to be filming a very different video than what I'm filming. But the weather had other plans, so we're going to kind of roll with it. I'm going to spend some time in the greenhouse just amending some soil, refreshing some soil, up-potting some things, potting some other things, getting some seedlings sown. But first I thought I'd mix up some soil. I've got a little bit of bagged soil, not enough to do what I want to do today. I have some cocoa coir, some vermiculite, some perlite, and some compost. So I'm mixing it all together with the old soil, just going to see how far it takes me. So I've mixed up some cocoa coir with some vermiculite, and I'm going to be putting that in this bag with old soil, compost, perlite, a little bit of everything. I know some of you guys are going to want to know exactly how much of everything I used. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know that I don't take exact measurements of anything. I do that in cooking, I do that in gardening. So I just kind of go with it until it feels right. Who knows, I could come out tomorrow and find all my seedlings dead, but I don't really think so. So I've got everything thrown together in this old bag of potting soil. It was maybe a quarter of the way full, and I'm just going to roll up the sides and mix it all together. So I've got it all mixed up. It's nice and light and fluffy. And you may be asking, why didn't you just go buy new potting soil? A couple of reasons. Number one, potting soil is expensive. I had several half bags of it, half full bags laying around. Had quite a bit of cocoa coir, and I had compost. Had perlite, had vermiculite, so I had all the makings of better potting soil than what I could get in bags. So that's why I did it. Plus, it's kind of fun to play in the dirt. You see those gloves right there? Someday I'll learn to use those when I'm doing this up potting or working in any soil. But that day is obviously not today. I've already up potted most of my tomatoes, but I have a few left that got a later start. These were mortgage lifters, so they need to be up potted. As you can tell, they're getting a little bit leggy, so I will take off the seed leaves and up pot them pretty deep in my red solo cups. And then if I swing around, I'm getting ready to up pot black Krim tomatoes and sun gold tomatoes. I'm putting them in my red solo cups. I know some of you are going to say you're contributing to the world's overabundance of plastics. I have a couple of thoughts on that. Number one, I reuse these year after year after year, so I'm reusing and recycling. I'm not just using them once and throwing them away. And number two, I know that they're food safe, or at least beverage safe. And number three, I've put things in those red solo cups in my younger days that probably did a lot more harm to my body than any microplastics could. So, you know, you don't have to do it if it's not right for you, but it works for me and it's what I use. I just use a trowel to lift these out of the soil in the milk jug. I'm not super careful about it, but I'm also not particularly harsh. And when I've got them all out, I just give them a little tug, and then I set them in their red solo cups. And when I've got them all out, I take the soil that's in the milk jug and I dump it in my bag with my old soil, and we reuse it. 2 down, 7 more to go of the sun golds, and then I think I've got 12 black Krim. So I'm going to kind of run through which tomatoes I ended up planting this year. I've got black Krim here, and I've got about 12 of those. And I've got 2 jugs of mortgage lifter. Those are my favorite slicers. They do really well for me, and it's not unusual to get a 2+ pounder out of those. And then already up potted, I have Sun Golds, San Marzanos, Cherokee Purple, Romas, Amish Paste, Jory tomatoes from Adaptive Seeds in the Pacific Northwest, Umpqua Beauty from Territorial Seeds, also in the Pacific Northwest, Quastra Lee from M.I. Gardner. Never grown this before, but it's supposed to produce a large tomato that's suitable for paste or sauce. Ruby Gold from Fedco, which I'm assuming is a lot like a Sun Gold cherry tomato, just a more ruby color. And this one you'll notice I planted really low. That's because I bent the stem down below the soil line when I was planting it. So I planted it deep, and we'll see if it makes it. And I think, Ostiana. Those are from PDX Seeds, and they're not a very well-known variety. They used to be grown out of a farm that's a little bit south of Portland. The farm closed, and another company came in, bought all their seed stock, and is selling it now. And it's supposed to be a great slicer and also a large tomato. So that's what's on deck this year. I use these 10-20 trays with the liner to put my red solo cups with my seedlings in, and that way I can bottom water them. And I keep the liner in there. I just add water up to about an inch, let them set in the water for about 30-45 minutes, and then I just pull the liner tree out, lift it out, and move another batch into the 10-20 tray. And that just kind of keeps rotating the tomatoes through so that they get bottom watered. Thanks so much for coming along today while I spent some time in the greenhouse, since the weather wasn't being very cooperative outside. I don't know what you do when it's raining in your neck of the woods. Drop a comment, let me know. We got some things accomplished in the greenhouse, got some things up potted, got some things sown, and we're ready for the next dry day to get some things done outside. If you enjoyed the video, if you got something out of it, please do all the things. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, hype it, whatever rings your bell. I appreciate your support. It helps my channel grow, and I appreciate all of you taking the time to watch. Thanks so much.